Alright guys, so this is the train tracks drawing, and as promised I'm going to show you guys different techniques to do each part of this drawing. And so what I'm first going to do is show you how to do the train tracks in more detail. I showed some of you this technique on Monday when we met, but now I'm just going to quick go over it so you can kind of see how it works. What you have to understand, I guess, is that you have the train track itself, this here, which is like the bar, the track that the train rides on, and then you have the spikes, railroad spikes, that go back in space. And so this is metal, this is wood, so you have to treat it a little differently. What I'm going to do to start off is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to shade it all in, and it's going to be the same shade, it doesn't matter. You'll see your lines that you made underneath. Oop, I got some stuff going on there, hold on. There we go. And you just want to, so it's like coloring it in, you're just coloring it in one value. And we're just going to worry about the tracks right now. You can go ahead and feel free to alright. There we go. Now, I'm going to show you one of the real ones. If you look at this, there's really no part of this that is completely white, right? You have there's a lot of gray, a lot of dark, value, and then like a really black value here. And the key is it's just a push-pull game. So now we have that value, that's our base value. It's just down there, and now we can build on top of that. So I'm going to take this railroad spike here, and I'm going to start working on that one. So watch how that's done. I'm just going to take my pencil, because it's relatively close to us still, you're going to see a little bit of detail on this one. Alright, so that's going to be that value. Now remember I showed you guys how to make it look 3D. This board is three-dimensional, it has a depth to it, it's not just a flat board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dark, thin band, and I'm just going to draw it all the way across. And so like you almost can use like the thickness of the graphite on your pencil. Just draw a straight line across. What that does is it gives that board depth. Do you see how that pops out now? Just like that. It's that easy. It's just a very simple technique. Now if you look at this too, I'm going to go back to the regular picture. You got to really look. You can see it. That dark band. But you can see down below you have like dirt and wood chips and all these other things below the tracks that are there, and so there's different value. You got to make it look, you got to separate the values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to color darker in between. This is a track, this is a track. In between is the dirt and the wood chips and all that other good stuff. Alright, see how that works? So you can still kind of see that black value. If you go too dark, let's say we go like this, and then it kind of all looks the same, right? It kind of disappears now. What you can do is try to find that line again and really make it dark to make it stand out again. You got to do that. They got to be separate values, or else it's not gonna get the effect that you want. You can come in here too, and you can erase back into that as well. If you make it too dark, you can always take like a pink eraser and just kind of push around graphite a little bit. Doesn't have to take it off. Just needs to kind of push it around. Alright, you guys see that? So that kind of looks good. And so now we're going to look at the track again. And what's happening is on the side, it's a little darker, and then it gets a little lighter as you go towards the middle, and then it gets dark again towards this side. And that's because the tracks are actually casting a little bit of a shadow. So again, it's going to be a little bit lighter as you come into the middle of the railroad spike. Okay, so that's already getting there. Let's do this though. Let's come over here and let's do this in the middle. And again, got to separate those values. You got to make sure this is darker than this. Okay. Oh, but what did we forget, or what we didn't do yet? We didn't do this side of the track, right, to make it look round. So I'm going to come in here, and that's going to be the darkest of the dark. So it pops right out. Okay. See how that works? Now, you may be looking at this, and this kind of all blends together, right? Kind of doesn't look very separate. So what you can do is you can come back in here with your eraser and erase away a little bit. And ooh, look at that. Gets you right away. You can see that edge occurs. So this is a little different than what we've done in the past, right? Because we're not necessarily making an edge because we just draw a line. We're instead making an edge where one value meets another. That's it. There's no like line, you know, there's no like pencil line that you drew. It's just a lighter value next to a darker value creates a separation. Remember, the middle was a little lighter than the sides. Alright, do you guys see that? Looks pretty cool, right? And then you can come back down here too, and you can do the same thing. You can come back down here and kind of make this a darker value again. This is yet another railroad spike, and it's the biggest because it's closest to you. And so you might actually see a little bit more texture. You might see like the wood grain and stuff. You know, and the wood grain just kind of it's just straight lines back and forth to kind of create that texture. You want to use that ebony pencil because ebony pencil is going to give you the most variety light and dark lines. And then again, you can come back in here and maybe erase into it a little bit. So remember, you can create that edge where the dirt down here meets the railroad spike. Alright, so kind of give you the idea here. I mean, you can get as detailed as you want with it, but that's kind of the technique. And again, like, you can come back in here maybe with another pencil and kind of give it some more detail, you know. Well, there you go. So that kind of is a good start, and you just keep working that way, going back until, of course, this is all going to be like one value back here. You're not even going to be able to see this because it's so far away. But the close stuff you can do the most detail with. Detailed in the front, and it goes back, it gets less and less detailed. Alright, that's it for now. I'll come back with the next lesson, which is the railroad track itself.